Good afternoon, listeners. This is another episode of the Karen's podcast, where we are experts on nothing, but have opinions on everything. And this week, our friend Carlos is back subbing for Megan.
What?
Yeah. Hey, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
Hello.
And then we have Carolyn, Susan, and myself, Amanda. The three of the regular Karens, if you will. And this week we're talking about something kind of we're all struggling with a little bit, is midlife and midlife crisis, I guess. I don't know if it's necessarily crisis, but just things we're experiencing and noticing and talking about. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
What is it? Wednesday? Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Hump day.
Just to set the stage, I think out of the four of us, we have someone who has decided to come out of retirement. We have someone who has launched a new job, and then we have someone who is launching a business and going off with their passion. And then you have a fourth person who I think has been, I'm going to say this without trying to laugh, the most stable of us all, because they've been in the same career for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
So we're all in different stages, but we're all, I feel like, going through what some people would say a midlife rebirth or midlife. I don't have to call it a crisis.
Yeah.
The reality is there's so much life that we have left to live, and it's not over once you hit a certain number. And I think it's just important. Like, I saw people going back to school at 70, and you're like, why would you go get a degree at 70? Like, what's the point? Well, because they wanted to go learn about something. So let's talk about, midlife crises, so to speak.
Midlife, maybe just midlife.
Right.
And I guess that's part of what I guess there's four of us. So Carlos, how old are you again?
I will be 55 this year.
So Carlos is about 4 years older
so holy
than
shit.
us.
Holy shit. Yeah.
No,
how about that?
Carlos is like 15 years older than us because I'm still 40.
That's right. Sorry. So Carlos, yes. But I'm turning, I can't believe I'm about to say this, 50 in a couple weeks, like literally less than 2 weeks on St. Patrick's Day.
Less than 2 weeks.
And that's been hitting me hard recently. Susan is, I think, later this year, and then Carolyn's a little later this year. But
I'm last. I'm the youngest.
I
think
rubs that in.
It's funny that I know, but I think also, Amanda, when you were saying you're having a hard time with it, I think I had a hard time when I turned 49. I still don't like to admit how old I am because I work with a lot of young people. Like the average age on my team is like 30.
Yeah.
To the point where some of these people could be my kids.
Yeah.
And to come full circle, I have a person on my team who, my first job out of college was the Discovery Channel, and her son would come in, and her son was 4 or 5, and I saw his name on my team, and I'm like, that can't be the same one. Same kid. It's the same kid. Yes.
Oh wow.
He's not a kid. He's a young man.
Yeah.
And I had to text my boss, who I'm still very, my first boss, who I'm still very,
close with,
friends with. We connect every time I'm in New York, and I sent him a text being like, I officially feel old when little Teddy is not little Teddy anymore, and he's on my team. He's my counterpart, and I loved his mom, and his mom's adorable, and I haven't talked to her in years, but like, he was like, if you feel old, how do you think I feel now? Because he's at least 16 to 18, 20 years older than me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's still in the workforce, so he's still trucking. But that's
an eye opener. That's eye opening.
Yeah.
And
Probably
I
a trip.
Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily, I don't know if it's the age. It's more, I think what's really been bothering me lately is I'm seeing people die that are younger than 50 or just over 50. Like, I came in the other day and Julie was watching that Words Afterlife or something. It's like where the stars like make these shows. They know they're going to die or it's to be aired after they're dying. Eric Dane. Oh. And I walk in and I'm like, oh my God, is that Eric Dane? And he looked terrible. And she's like, yeah, he just died.
I don't know who that is. Who's that? He was
McSteamy.
He was from Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
But he was You wouldn't know this, but he was also married to Rebecca Gayheart, who was on Beverly Hills 90210 or Melrose. Yeah. You would recognize them.
You'd recognize
Very attractive couple.
Very attractive man, 54, I think, when he died, from ALS, just kind of came out and got him, and a very attractive man, like, big, healthy guy, and just
healthy. Yeah.
And then that guy, that was on Dawson's Creek, he did a few movies, died recently.
James Vanderbeek.
Yeah, colon cancer. And I think I've been 35 years. Had a job since a W-2 job, at least since I was 15 years old. And in sports, working, school, I haven't had more than a week off in 35 years. Maybe 10 days on the houseboat. That's it. And I'm just like, wow, this could end anytime. And I haven't done anything fun in 35 years.
Other than work.
Yeah. So it's kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a hard realization to come to. It is. And I think that's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the four of us don't have kids, so we're not in a situation where certain milestones have hit while we've had a child. Like say that child goes to elementary school, then goes to junior high, then goes to high school and goes to college. We've kind of just lived our lives, and now we're at this not crossroads, but
we call it the Peter Pan effect.
We want to be Peter Pan.
And the kids graduate, we haven't had a graduation from kindergarten and then from sixth grade. And they have graduations every few years now too. So.
What's the Peter Pan effect?
So the Peter Pan effect is, at least for me, the way I define it is that you live in a bubble. You don't have any milestones. So it's almost like you're forever young.
Yeah.
So I don't have a child. I don't do, I'm not going to go see my kids, like what Susan was saying. I'm not going to my kids' 8th grade graduation. I'm not going to their high school graduation. For me, it's just this inevitable, youth that's happening. But even though, yes, it's very stressful, but being also 5 years older than everybody else, the way I'm trying to put a positive spin, or that I am putting a positive spin on it, is that if we forecast, let's say, or let me ask each and every, how long, at what age do you want to live to? Do you want to live to 100?
Oh.
I mean, as long as I have
I think realistically,
realistically,
if I make it to 87, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I always thought mid to late 80s. If your brain goes, your body goes before that.
Yeah. So I think I'll end up living till 90. Just from, when I say that, it's because of, family genetics.
Okay.
But my dad's side all lived to 90, 93. And for lack of a better area, they were pretty much healthy up until the last year of their life. I think 87 is a good thing to shoot for. Yeah. My dad's super healthy at 80. He's turning 83 this year.
Yeah.
And I think keeping your body and mind working and not slowing down, in the sense of you're still working out, you're still you're not sitting on the couch and just sitting at home. You have to keep your body going.
What, do you have a number, Carlos? What are you thinking?
Well, on my dad's side of the family, they were all centurions.
Oh,
Jesus.
Okay.
But on my mom's family, but he died from cancer, and he went through 3 remissions after 14 years. And when they found cancer in the brain, he's like, "Oh, I'm doing hospice." That's the only reason why. If not, I think honestly to this day, my dad would still be kicking it around and bugging the shit out of me. But instead of it being a negative, oh no, life is ending, if we're saying 87 or 90 or whatever the case may be, you have 40 more Christmases. Make them as banging, make them as much fun as possible. You have 40 more times, if you still have family members, if you still have friends, if you only see them once a year, you're only going to see them 40 more times that's it. And that's assuming that they're going to live longer than you.
Same.
If they're going to live less than you, then maximize the positive side of it. Yeah. Because when I was coming up to 50, that's when both of my parents at that time were now gone.
Oh.
And so for me, like those milestones that we are talking about, exactly, Carolyn, those milestones of like, oh, well, I'm going to see my parents grow into their 80s and 90s. I did not get that opportunity, which congratulations to Susan and those that do have parents that are making it, so each of us have different milestones that let us know, hey, you're middle age, or you're now on the flip side of the coin, shall we say. Instead of it a count up, you're on a count down. But I turn it around as I have another 40 more years to make every event, every time, every hug, every smile, every laugh, every cry as good as possible. Because then I'm not then scared of the inevitable. I'm just scared of missed opportunities.
Right. And that's where I'm at. Missed opportunities, like trying to slow down to a point where there's less of them,
So what do you think, sorry, I was just going to ask, what do you think you've missed out on?
Me? I mean, a lot. Like just downtime, time to spend with you all, time to spend with my partner, my family. I just don't travel.
Fun,
yeah.
Adventure.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand because like for me, I'm like thinking what Carlos says is like, now that you recognize it, let's turn it around and be positive. Like, you recognize you're not spending enough time with your partner because you're working too much. Like, and I personally don't think doing everything in one shot, like just start making a plan for like the next 6 months to set some goals for yourself that are attainable, that you just don't all of a sudden say, I'm going to do X, Y, Z because I need to get my life back. Cause like, I think it'll crash or like,
and I think
I can't do that anyway. Yeah.
I think also there's, it's also like a lifestyle, like a habit, when you're type A,
so used to it,
driven, and you are a workhorse, and that's your life. And I'm not saying that's bad. I feel like when I was in Chico and going on all cylinders in real estate, definitely that's where I was at too. I was not doing anything other than real estate. And when you're in that place, it's normal, and it just is, there is really hard to get out of that.
Yeah.
So I just think, again, hearing you
unwinding it,
identify it.
Yeah,
you gotta just make a plan to unwind it, and then try your best to be, cognizant of it, and make a point to be like, all right, look, I'm going to plan 3 things this year in the calendar that I'm not going to bail on, things that I wouldn't normally do, whether that's coming to visit me, or, we're going to Scottsdale, or we're,
taking Julie away for a weekend on 4 days and getting on a plane, and don't think about it. Just book it, go somewhere, the 4 of you, and like do something like that. Not the 4 of you, the 2 of you.
I'm like,
the 4.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She meant the dogs.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we don't have to plan my agenda.
No, we're not planning yours. We're just saying like make certain tweaks.
Yeah, no, I am. And there's, obviously more to it, like time and money and all those sorts of things. But my goal is to unwind a few things that just don't make sense for me by the end of the year. And I'm actively working to do that. And try to plan these little things, because don't have time or money for much more than that this year, but maybe next year, maybe we'll get some of these moves. And it's so funny, because when growing up, a midlife crisis was like some guy in his 40s or 50s buying like a Corvette or something, and or dating the secretary or something. It's so different.
Having an affair.
When you hit it, right? There's so much more than just that, like still wanting to feel attractive, still wanting to feel, like have whatever it is you had when you were younger. That's part of it. But then there's the golden handcuffs. If you're fortunate enough to make, Susan said something on last week's episode that has stuck with me, how she met the folks like that lived in, I guess, like a cave, I think you said, and they were like super happy and didn't have a dime to their name, but they were like day by day happy. And so, it is true. More money, more problems. And, it's just interesting. You know, the more money you make, you invest and you hope for the best, and sometimes you make bad decisions. And it doesn't work out like you think. And then by the time you hit,
I
middle
think,
age, you're kind of on a path, right? Oftentimes.
yeah. And I think, also I'm going back to how positive Carlos was and like reframing things. And I've had to do this a lot in the past 6 months to 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, there's a lot of life lessons we learn. And if you don't try and do something, you'll never know. And like, if it doesn't work out, like take that lesson and like flip it and learn from it and move forward, and trying to slow down for me, or like trying to see what the next 10 years looks like. I hate using 10-year time periods, but I'm very much like Amanda. I've been working since I graduated college. I don't come from a family that my parents could support me, even paying for our cell phone bill. Like I was always on my own. And I also had this like thing installed in me where I just kept I could hear my mom's voice, save, save, save. And so there was an anxiety, I would say, when I started making even a single dime that was over, like, I don't want to say living paycheck to paycheck, but like, I finally got money, and it was saving, and it was investing, and it was buying things. And I think I put more stress on myself to plan for, the future. And I still have that. And I have to remind myself that for the first time, and this is coming out of like my 4-week sabbatical, is I did all the right things. I was stressed out from 35 to literally a year ago that I was going to be bankrupt and broke, when the reality is I put things in motion so that I won't have that. There still is the chance that I could get sick and something weird can happen. But the reality is I've been saving, like I want to eventually retire. It probably won't be till 65. Maybe it won't be ever, but it'll be like however that looks like. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to have that stress anymore. So what I have now is good, and I'm just going to put money back into the bank and not overextend myself.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I had run into, there's a young man that is the son of one of my contractors, and he's over the last like few months and year to a few months here, up through the last few months, I should say. He texts me every so often. He's like, how do I do what you do? And I'm just like, and he thinks it's like, cause he sees, like, you don't know if you want to do what I do, cause he sees that I'm my own boss or whatever. And I'm like, you give up a lot, but just start. So I basically said, learn from your dad, cause his dad's a contractor. I said, learn from him, learn a skill, and then you can go and trade that skill, partner with somebody that has financing to buy property and kind of build up from there, and just leave your ego at the door and work hard and save. And it's just, I remember being his age thinking, how do people get to the point, pick out a few people that or see, how do they get to that point? And you always think there's a magic bullet, but at the end of the day, it's just years of grind.
Hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is. I mean,
for better or worse.
I look at I look at my portfolio. I looked at my portfolio the other day, and I still remember when I was 25, first real job that offered a 401k. And I remember it because I had like 3 or 4 years later, I left the company and I rolled it over. And I think we'll say it was $8,000 after being there for 4 years, because that's all I could afford to put in my 401k.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yet starting those principles early and saving, even if it's so little, like I'm 50 now and I look at my portfolio and I'm like, I'm not in bad shape. Could I always be better? Yeah. I always like to joke, I'd be richer and thinner. Of course, everyone wants to be. But I think it's that thing is like starting young, and like people have the legacy of time on their side when they're younger, just to start thinking about it and like setting goals and saving.
And that what you're describing is basically the compound effect, right?
Yeah.
Like you start young and just continue to put something away, and that compounds over time.
Carlos, I was going to ask, what business are you starting? What are you getting into?
So, I'm launching a company that is on financial literacy, and it covers everything from financial aid to like career development, choosing the right career, the ROI on your career, all the way until you graduate, as well as job placement and LinkedIn and learning how to do all those things all onto one website.
And it's for college kids, correct? College students.
Actually, it's from freshmen on up.
But
Okay.
it's like people that want to go back to school could also go back and like, I get,
Returning
and
adults.
I don't want to speak for Carlos, but he was telling me that if I wanted to go, we'll say, get a degree in finance, I want to like pivot, I could go put in certain like prerequisites of like, if I went and got this degree, how much would it cost? And then what would I make to get out of it and how long it would take? And like, is it worth it? Like or if I wanted to go become a construction manager or
a nurse or something. Yeah.
Or a plumber.
Or take a certificate program that's only going to, take up 9 months as opposed to, I'm going to get another degree. Here goes another 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And then you look at the cost of like, okay, one's going to be $10,000 or it's free as opposed to, I go to a university for another 2 years to get my degree, even if it's online. Now I'm paying an extra $18,000 to $20,000. Now, comparing that all to, the return on your investment. And those are the questions that in general, including life. Like I just finished Googling where it says that the average, they say ideally, when people when people retire, they should have $300,000 in their 401k.
Maybe that doesn't seem like a minimum. That doesn't seem that much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not for California anyway.
The median in the United States is 95,000.
What?
When people retire, you mean?
Yes.
In their 401k?
Yes.
That's not good.
No, that's not
terrifying.
Good.
Yeah, you have one health issue, you're done.
Well, and also like if you think about it,
you're gonna be working. You're not, you'll be 65.
How do you live off 90K and you're only at like retired? I don't know how anyone can do that.
Well,
well, he's not saying that's suggested. That's
he's saying
the reality.
I know,
that's the median though.
I know that's the median, but like, how are people retiring with only $90,000? Are they just? It's like.
Haven't you seen older people working? I see older people working.
I see it a lot.
The time.
I see people retiring and then coming back oftentimes too. Yeah.
My parents have a good friend. My mom has a good friend that actually still works, but she actually works not out as a necessity, but she's bored. So she goes and does, I think like a 6 a.m. to like noon shift 3 days a week at Macy's. And it's like prepping the store and doing all this random stuff because she's up and she's like, what I'll do,
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like people are going back to work to get health insurance.
Get the benefits.
I was going to say the benefits. Yeah. How old do you have to be now before you get, was it Medicare or Medicaid? I can't remember. One is for, is it 62?
Yeah, I think 62.
Yeah, but they're talking about pushing it further back.
Yeah.
I think they're going to push it to 65.
And weren't they talking about getting rid of it altogether at one point?
I mean, they're trying to get rid of everything right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Speaking of, college, Carlos, back in 1975, public university annual tuition was on average was $510 per year. Today,
wow.
In-state, this is annual in-state, so this isn't for,
should
smart.
be
This is
about
for like us.
70,
it says 11,000 per year.
60 to 70.
Well, this is public.
That's just tuition.
No, that's just tuition, I'm sure. And then private.
What did we pay at Chico? Wasn't it like four
I
and a
think
half?
it was $1,500 a semester.
Yeah, it was like $750
just for tuition.
Yeah, something like that. A quarter a semester, $1,500 a year, I think. Yeah, it was not bad.
The reason why each and every did any of you guys raising hand? Did anybody have loans?
Yeah, but mine were paid off.
Yeah.
But
I made my last payment when I was like almost 42, like 41.
I was in my, late 30s when I paid mine off. Finally.
Yeah, I paid mine off.
I paid that bitch forever.
But I didn't have that much. I just think I had like $10,000.
I can't tell you how many, I see these loans that these kids are carrying now, hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes. Crazy. Like I'd say an average student loan on an application these days is $35,000. That's average. That's for somebody not even working under their degree. And then if I had kids today, if I had kids ever, I don't have kids now, but if I were to have kids kind of coming up now, I would press the trades. I would be like electrician or plumber. Yeah. And then go and get your contracting license after you've mastered one of those.
That's where I started. I started in the trades first.
Yeah.
So when I met you all and all you little,
Hoodlums.
bookworms. And I'm like, oh, look at all these little hoodlums and, teaching me all these wonderful, inappropriate things in life.
Yeah, like we taught you.
Yeah. Well,
he was kind of a good boy, but we did make him.
The corruption came fast.
We did corrupt him, but he didn't fight it. Let's put it that way.
Don't forget, he was a Seventh-day Adventist.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say practicing, but
I
at least not where he went out with us
I mean,
to the club.
I mean, I think, looking at the kids today and like tying it back to like midlife crisis, like I can't imagine sending my child off to school to incur $70,000 a year in debt,
No.
because the ROI is never going to be there, and they're never going to be able to pay off the $500,000.
Well, and they're getting their fucking degrees in like gender studies, and you're like, what are you going to do with that? Like, what are you going to do with that?
when I was at at the two private universities that I worked at, I would literally have to sometimes slide a piece of paper and tell the parents, your balance is $65,000 or your balance is $97,000 for your freshman year.
Oh.
How do you propose to pay for this? Well, I'm not sure. And so I sit there, talk with them, and okay, did you apply for scholarships? I assume that you guys were going to give me some. And I'm like, nope, we're not. And here is a loan for the student, and here is a loan application for the parent. And the parents had to pay for like close to $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
Dude.
And
That's crazy.
and that 401k of $200,000, $300,000, or even $400,000, guess what? That's
Gone.
where it's gone.
Yeah, it's coming from that.
But they're hoping and praying that, hey,
hopefully little Sally,
little Billy's going to take care of us
when
later.
they get old.
Which we know is not going to be the case.
Compared to this typical cost, I just picked electrician because I don't know, seems easier than plumbing. Less gross anyway. Apprenticeship, most common path, zero average cost, $0 to $2,000 per books and classes, but you're mostly just, following people around for free. And most apprenticeships, training about 4 to 5 years to become a licensed journeyman electrician. The other route would be a trade school, and that's roughly $10,000 to $20,000 for the full program. Some intensive schools can cost 20 to 30 grand. So you figure that, and your median electrician salary, and this is 80 to 90 in most states.
Yep.
So you're thinking here in California, I mean, I think my electrician's
make more.
100 something bucks an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Plumber is like 120. So yeah, and then you that's pretty good.
And that's right out of the gate.
That's out of the gate. Yeah. So
you don't got to take 6-7 years to get there. It's right out of the gate, and it goes up.
The trades is where it's at. The trades is where it's at. Anybody, no offense, but anybody now going into college, it's absolutely saturated in all the fields.
In trades too? You mean in trades?
Not in trades.
In what fields? Give me an example.
In degrees.
Oh, I see.
So it's like somebody graduates and they're like, oh, I have a business major. Oh, okay, you and everybody else.
I see.
Or they're like, oh, I'm a communications major, or I have a degree in psychology. I have a degree in sociology. I have a degree in and whatever, all these things. It's like, but what are you going to do with it? Unless you have a PhD, which means you're going to go to school for like another 4 to 6 years.
What is that? I mean, that doesn't necessarily do anything for you unless you're in some type of field that requires it. Yeah. Like a teacher, like a college professor.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You'd have to be a professor or a clinician.
Right.
But then that means you're in school and your ROI is it's not there. It's not there. So all the science, technology, engineering, mathematics are super saturated because that's where everybody is going into. And at the rate that education is going and the way AI is developing, if people don't start moving to the trades and maximizing and making it sound pretty, or say, hey, plumbers always have a Clorox wipe on them, so it doesn't sound as gross. I mean, people are going to be priced out of the market. They say on average, I think it's something like 30% of graduates now from college can't find jobs.
I would think it's more than 30. I mean, I would think that 30 is low.
That was, let me see.
Yeah. So from midlife to starting out in life, I guess it's a logical segue. But, yeah, I mean, to try to avoid.
Well, I was just like, with this conversation
retirement.
just took a hard right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah.
We went down to education costs and.
Yeah. Well, I asked Carlos what he was.
No, I know. And I think it's great. I think it's also, if you want to correlate the factors, like, you know, anyone that graduates college takes a while to get up and running, which we did. That's why I was saying, I wasn't shit. Oops. I was 35 when I feel like I started finally making positive cash.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now we're in our midlife.
Yeah.
Wait, Carlos, I got a question for you. This is a fun question. Once you turned 50, was there anything that you randomly went out and bought or did because you had a midlife crisis?
Like as a
or like celebration or midlife crisis?
No. Left back.
No.
Like, I deserve this.
Yes.
No. In fact, for the last probably good 6 years, I don't say anything about my birthday. I don't say, oh, hey, I'm going to have a party. Everybody come, and I don't do any of those things. And the reason why I don't do that is because I try and celebrate my birthday or my own milestones. Like when I take my trips.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, and the life experience, you know, like if like, you know, Susan's big, trip. I chalk it up to like, hey, that was like my birthday gift to myself.
Yeah.
Or you
That's
go
good.
and do
That's a good
something
gift.
else.
That's a big gift. Yeah.
Because then I'm not waiting for that one day of the year. I'm celebrating it constantly. And it's because I've had too many shortages of life that have happened around me with health and accidents and, you know, other factors that I need to take ownership of what I'm doing. That's why it's like I'm going to be fun, crazy, inappropriate as much as I possibly can because like for instance, I just finished seeing Amanda. I hadn't seen Amanda in a couple of years, and like we hung out, we had a great time. I hadn't gone out with Susan to just go out, just to go out and just to talk and hang out in a long time. And we just did that last
Friday.
And
that's great.
You know, for us, it was like,
it was fun.
Yeah. We hadn't done that. And
I mean, we didn't rage. We didn't go to the club. We just sat and had some wings and chatted and caught up for a couple hours. And then, you know, it was fun.
Yeah. Those are and for me, because remember, being a little older and the coin has flipped sooner than others, I'm on the countdown, but I'm doing a count up, and I'm flipping it so that it's like, hey, if there's an opportunity to, you know, hang out with Susan and she all she has to do is send me a specific text and I already know she wants to hang out. And it's perfect because it cuts all the bullshit. It cuts right through it. And it's just like, I miss you. I want to hang out, period.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not this, how are you? And we go through that whole, you know,
small talk bullshit.
Yeah, all of that. It's, well, just like how when I talked to you, Carolyn, a few weeks ago, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking just call you and John
that was
and say,
awesome.
You know what? I'm just going to come. I'll also just, I'm going to come out and visit you.
Just show up.
I'm just, well, that's,
and then there
crazy.
he was he's like, I'm here for a month. Where's my room?
Well, I don't do that.
Carlos, did you or Susan or Amanda, do you feel any pressure about your 50th birthday? Like you're supposed to do this big, you know, celebratory thing? 'Cause I am feeling that.
So it's funny you bring this up because I had this conversation with someone close to me about it. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't want to plan anything.
Pressure.
I don't want to throw a party because that's just a lot of work on me.
Yes.
Like, but I was like, but if you want to throw one for me, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And then we talked about it, and he even said, think about this. What about just getting an Airbnb for the weekend and telling anyone who wants to come up, like, we'll have with a pool, like, come over here.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a random DJ for the day, but like anyone and everyone's welcome. That's just the way it goes. I was like, yeah, that's called Chateau Le Beau, dude.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I will say this, I'm trying to celebrate this year doing a lot of fun stuff. Like,
Little-
I just
little-
want to,
yeah, little stuff.
and I want to do
Yeah.
a lot, and I think I want to do more, like, I'm saying yes to a lot of concerts, saying yes to running with you, Amanda, for her birthday 2 weeks from now. I have a big 8-month calendar on my wall because I'm looking at dates now and trying to plan stuff versus letting it happen to me or like
Yeah.
missing things.
Yeah. But your
Yeah.
specific birthday, like so I'm kind of the same.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, my original idea was to go camping and do a big camp trip.
Like
But
you do every
then I
year.
was like, dude, it's going to be a lot of work. Like,
Yeah.
I love camping, don't get me wrong, but for a lot of people,
Oh, for a lot of people.
the
got it.
cleaning and the cooking, and I just was like, sounds like a lot of work. And so then, John, my husband, is like, well, here's the deal. People want to celebrate you and they want to come and, party and celebrate you. And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like a little bit of pressure. Like it has to be this big celebration. And
then if it doesn't go off, is it like a downer too? I mean, it's just a
Well,
lot of pressure.
if people show up, it'll go off. It's not that it won't go off. It's just the planning and I don't know.
Planning and the work. Yeah.
I just feel a little like,
Like,
what if I don't want to do anything?
When I turned 50, it was during COVID. So
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
could get out.
Yeah.
So I had originally thought, and there's this Mexican restaurant, Dos Pinos, here in Potrero Hill, that was here before, and I was already starting to plan. I already had the catering information. I was going to call all of you all and say, you know what? I've rented out an entire Mexican restaurant just
Get your
for
asses
us.
down here. Yeah.
They're going to be making homemade churros for us afterwards, and free cocktails, the whole 9 yards. I had everything planned. COVID hit.
Yeah.
There went that.
Yeah.
Also, I went to college. I got my degree. Graduation was going to be something. COVID.
Yeah.
So every time that I've tried to plan or wait for, or I'm expecting something to happen on that one specific day had been taken away from me, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not waiting for that one specific day. I'm going to do it when I'm available now. So if I have time, or if I have the money, or if I have the patience, or even if I don't, then I'm just going to do it on my own and celebrate it in my own way and have my own milestones. And unfortunately, because of COVID, it just taught me, I'm like, I'm not waiting for a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people got screwed out of,
those milestones in life, in every milestone in life.
Yeah. Sounds like we owe Carlos a party. Well,
I think we should do a Chateau Le Beau reunion this summer.
That'd be amazing.
Maybe July. I'm just gonna throw that out.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I feel like July would be a good month.
Yes, I would love that. And for the listeners, Chateau Le Beau.
But I also am going to pitch in, sorry, before you add in, we hire people to come clean. So you host.
Yes.
And then we have, Carlos will hire Lupita to come clean.
There you go. Chateau Le Beau just refers to my house here, in Chateau Lesbo. We just made it a little classier and called it Chateau Le Beau. Kind of an ongoing joke. But no, I thought that was a great, segue back to the original topic. And maybe I know we have to get wrapped up here, but that's kind of a good way to end, kind of touching on the milestones and kind of the plans. So Carolyn, if you do have that party, you better give us a heads up.
I know.
And we'll definitely put something on the books for this summer. Yeah, and I'm to answer that question, I'm just, whoever asked it, I'm just doing some small stuff throughout the year too, like wanting to do more runs. That was a great run that you and Sue and Manny and I did, and seeing Carlos that day, it like was the best day I've had like all year. It was great. So I'm hoping to revisit that vibe coming up.
Yeah, and I think also I've been seeing this meme that's been going around. I think I sent it to Carolyn earlier this week. That people that, you know, because we're Gen Xers, people that are Gen Xers are having midlife crisis. They're either getting divorced, getting in shape, or what was the third thing?
I don't remember.
Third thing, and I was like, well, I got 2 out of the 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Or getting a new job or something like that.
It was something so bizarre that I was like, okay, 2 out of 3, like getting in shape,
bad.
getting divorced. No, yeah.
Giving up booze.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta shake it up.
It's interesting because now that we're turning this age, I wish I would have applied these things, getting in shape and being healthy in my 20s and 30s, which I didn't. Maybe because maybe it's a reflection of the fact that we have another 50 years to live.
Yeah.
Or so.
I mean, I now am excited because I decided to also do the health thing and, you know, follow in Susan's footsteps as well as everybody else's who's very fit and running and stuff. Today I swam a mile.
Ooh, damn, dude.
And
That's
so-
no joke.
And
How many laps is that?
A lot.
A lot.
I don't know. All I know
Uh-huh.
it's more than 1,650 yards. I know that. The only yards I knew before was like Yard House where you drank beer.
A
like
yard. Beer.
And so
Yeah. I mean, that's an hour, or how long
it
that take you?
was
It's at least
45
an
minutes.
hour.
Yeah.
It was 45
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's
so, like for me, my milestones are now lowering my A1C, which I did. I went from a 7 to a 6.4 in
Dude.
2.5 months.
That's a big deal.
That's great.
And
The things we think about at this point.
I mean, I
No.
just don't want to be diabetic, and I don't want this, and I
Yeah.
don't want all these other health factors that have taken other people that are going to make me feel older if I don't get it together.
Good.
So I'm like walking around like being healthy and, you know,
Good.
eating the shit out of chicken wings when I really want to be eating fries when I'm drinking tequila. But, you know, Susan witnessed that when we hung out last time. It's just like, Jesus, we would really like some French fries. But no, we're going to have chicken wings.
Keep it high protein. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for sharing. And the segue, this is a good topic. Any last minute thoughts before we let our listeners go for the week?
I just was going to say I'm really excited to celebrate you in 2 weeks. I'm glad we're doing a run and some of us are getting out of our comfort zones. Carolyn, who was not a runner and was like, kick rocks, and we convinced her to join this run.
Mm-hmm.
Peer pressure, baby.
Probably gonna regret it, but that's fine.
Nah.
Well,
Do
what's
it.
the worst that's
Just
going to happen?
do it.
You walk?
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll just be sore for a week.
Yeah. No, I mean, I went last weekend on I went on the longest run of my life that I've ever gone on, and I didn't die.
Share with the
And,
listeners how long that was.
6 fucking miles, yo.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Dude, that was
Yeah.
big deal. I am proud. I was proud. I came
Should be.
home. John's like, how do you feel? I'm like, I feel proud. He's like, good, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the count up. That's the count up. That's the count up I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Not the countdown,
Hashtag
but the
count
count
up.
up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like it. Do they still do hashtags anymore? That ages us.
I think so.
Okay.
So,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, they
All
do.
right. Good.
You're in there.
I'm in there. Good. Well, thank you all for listening. As a reminder, if you have any topics or questions that you'd like to ask any of the Karens, our substitute Karen Carlos, you can email us at info@thekarenspodcast.com. That's INFO at thekarenspodcast.com. And you can hear us every Monday on Spotify, Castbox, Apple, and YouTube. Susan, you want to take it out for us?
Yeah. Thanks for listening to Karen's today, where we have opinions on everything, but we're experts on nothing.
Go find me.